Good afternoon, Denise Santos here with the GSBA Vision Summit. Today we have two lovely ladies we'll be speaking to. We have Verjeana Jacobs. She is the Director of Equity Programming NSBA, as well as Mary Fertakis, former member of the Tukwila School District Governing Board in Washington State and consultant to NSBA. How are you doing today, ladies?
Great. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Okay, so let's start off right with demographics and student success. Can you please tell us why this topic is so important and why does it have an impact on the students? How does it have an impact?
That's a very good question. So we are, as a country, we're in about our third year of more than half the student population for public schools in the United States are children of color. And so boards have to be very intentional about how they set policies that are designed to meet the needs of every single child. And so what we do know is our research tells us that children in poverty and children of color have some specific needs that need to be addressed. So this conversation is designed to give board members some tools that they can take back home and look at their demographics and look at the data and understand what they need to do as a governing body to help students to be successful.
So is that where you chime in to the governing body to make sure that your voice is heard as well? Make sure that everybody understands what is needed for them to succeed? Do you make those suggestions or offer resources as well?
Absolutely. So the National School Boards Association is actually, we are currently underway internally as well in terms of our conversation around how can we help boards to be more effective in their work around student achievement, specifically related to students who look different than most of the board members in this country, quite frankly. And so the reason it's so important to student success is that if board members, the people who are making the policies, those who are in a position to make a difference don't get it, the students aren't going to get it. So it's that important to make sure that if a child has a special need or a specific need, that our boards are giving them the policies and the resources to meet those needs.
Okay, now Mary, you will be speaking tomorrow as well. Mm-hmm. Is there anything in particular that you'll be touching on or any topics that you'll want to make sure you address?
Mm-hmm. Well, tomorrow we're going to be playing a support role for one of the school districts that is already participating in the Vision Georgia project and initiative. And what they're going to be talking about is community involvement and community engagement in this process. So we'll be pulling things from other states and from the national perspective as to why this is important, kind of as third-party validation for the work that's going on here, and to help reinforce that this is not something that schools can do on their own, nor should they try. This is a full community engagement process because our equity issues and our disparities are going across many more sectors than just education, and that is also impacting our students.
And are there any resources that educators or council members would be able to access in order to get more information regarding the topics we're discussing today?
Absolutely. So what I would say is the National School Board Association has taken a new focus, and our focus is to work with our state associations to make sure that, Mary and I are teaming up a lot to go to states as they need us to have the conversation. One thing that we want to make clear, we understand that these are tough conversations to have, but we also understand that we have to be intentional about this work. And so it's a new era for some, but the resources, the National is available for them to, we'll come out, we'll provide training, we'll provide resources that would help them understand what their budget should look like in terms of helping students of need. But I think the other thing too is that board members within their own districts have the capacity and the ability to get information about their own district that tells a story that they may not already know.
Are there any links or maybe a website they could visit to find out more information?
There are quite a few, and in fact the presentation that we're doing all day today, we are making that PowerPoint available on the GSBA website, and it has many, many slides that have links to all of the data that we shared, both Georgia data, national data. It includes resources for personal reading, because part of this issue is you can make a policy, but those are words on paper, and there's a lot of work that has to happen here for people to understand why this is important. So we want to provide them both the work that they need to do themselves and in the leadership role that they are in as a school board member, but also the resources to show where the data comes from and how to help them with their resource allocation.
Well, Mary and Verjeana, thank you so much for joining us today. A wonderful amount of information. As you just heard, you can find the information online as well. Thank you for joining us.